Welcome to the Church Musician's Assistant. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already so you keep receiving our videos. Today's video will be the next in a series of videos talking about how to record the best video and audio yourself on a budget for your church. And in this one, we will be looking at how to edit the video once you've already recorded it. And I'm going to be using an editor called VSDC. You can totally upload that onto your computer for free, but I went ahead and got the paid version. It's still really cheap. It's like 20 something bucks a year. So I would say it's definitely worth it for a few extra features just to pay that minimal amount. And VSDC has been working pretty well for me, so that's what we'll be using in this video. I'm going to show you a couple tricks to take your footage to the next level and make it look really nice and presentable for your online services. So let's go. All right, first we will import our content. So I'm going to grab the 3 shots that I took of this piece and name the project. All right, so now I'm going to add those other shots. This one and one more. Go to video and I'm going to grab this last one. All right, and make sure that you've got a different layer 1, 2, 3 for each different shot that you have. So I have 3 shots, that means I have 3 layers. So this little eye symbol over here means that all 3 tracks will play at once if you press the play button. But I'm just going to look at layer 1 right now. So I'll click that eye symbol to make them go away, and now only layer 1 will play. Now this angle might look nice for the more intimate, quieter sections of the piece, so I'm kind of keeping that in mind while I'm editing. You know, what shots would look good for which parts of the piece. Now, just to show you here, the second layer is from above and shows the full keyboard from kind of a higher angle here. And then the third layer shows the full keyboard also, but from a slightly distanced position over on the left. Now the beginning of the piece is quiet and starts with a left hand solo. So I think I'm going to allow the layer 1 to play at the very beginning. All of this at the beginning needs to be cut out, actually, because there's talking and waiting around. So once I find where that ends, I will cut that section out.
Just a little further back to get that to work. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, ready.
All right, so I'm going to make a cut right there. First, you need to click on the track to make sure it's selected. Then press this button, split into parts. It will create a little split here, and then select the section you want to delete and click delete. I just clicked the delete button on my keyboard. Now I'm going to move that back so that it's right at the beginning and there's no space before the entrance. Okay, so let's say you want to crop this portion of the video. I'm going to select that little segment and make sure your cursor is at the beginning of the segment so that whatever transformation you add starts at the beginning. Click that, and then you're going to put your cursor over the screen here and click right click, go down to crop tools, custom region. Then this allows you to choose the area you want to crop. So I actually want to show the keyboard and show my fingers for the very beginning. So let's try that. Now you'll see my cropping doesn't necessarily fit the video size, the proportions of the resulting video. So I'm just going to take that and expand it a little bit. This is actually cropping it even more, which is fine. You could go back to the crop tools and fiddle with it until it fits perfectly for you, but dragging it also will work. When the video renders, it will cut out this bit. Anything that's outside of the boundaries, that will get cut out. So what you see inside the blue line is what you will eventually view in the video. All right, now that should have cropped it. Now you could also do this a different way by using the zoom feature. So again, select the clip you want to zoom in on, go to Video Effects, Transforms, Zoom, click OK, and okay, it actually automatically zoomed in a little bit because my settings have already gone in and fiddled with it. But over here, if you go to Properties and look at Zoom Settings, you'll see these numbers here for X levels and Y levels. And as you can see, instead of 100, I have already set this on 120. So that's why it zoomed in a little bit. Let's say that you want a smooth transition from the zoomed in part to the not zoomed in part, and you want it to like very slowly zoom out during this whole segment. All right, I'll show you how to do that. I just undid all the cropping we did before so we could start fresh. I'm going to click this section, go to Video Effects, Transforms, Crop, click OK. And then on this crop, I will right click, Properties. Okay, you should have a Properties window over here on the right. If you scroll down, you're going to see this button. It says Crop Tools. We're going to go to that. It creates a dashed line around the video up here. This gives us an opportunity to crop it, and I would like it to be somewhere around there. This dashed line represents what you'll see at the very beginning of the video. All right, click Properties window again. And now we're going to make sure that we have that slow, smooth zoom out effect. So down here where it says crop effect settings, you have some numbers representing the left, top, right, and bottom. Instead of the constant parameter, we need to turn that into the linear parameter. So just click this button here until it turns into the linear parameter, which should be that diagonal line. All right, it is now giving us 2 values instead of 1 for the left, top, right, and bottom. If you want it to zoom out, then we're going to be changing the second value of each one of these sets of numbers. So for the left, we'll change that second value to 0. Same thing for the top. Okay, I had to redo this cropping thing, which is why the numbers are different now because my camera messed up. So anyway, as I was saying, we have 0 and 0 as the last numbers for the left and top. And then for the right and bottom, your last number will be 100. Okay, just remember 0, 0, 100, 100. And if you want it to zoom out, they will be the final numbers. If you want to zoom in, so you're starting from the bigger view and you're going to zoom into this cropped area, then you would just flip it. You would put 0 as the beginning value, 0, 0, and 100 as the beginning value down here. Okay, now if you drag the cursor through, you'll notice it's zooming out slowly. So let's just check it in context. Now I'm thinking I want to switch to a different view here soon, so let's find a good spot in the piece to do that. All right there as it's coming into the melody again, I want to switch to a different view, so I'm going to put a cut marker there. And let's say we want to switch to this layer number 2. Well, I'm going to view that one, turn viewing off for layer 1. Now the trick is we got to find that same spot in this recording. Fortunately, I did play this. I played with the same track every time I videoed, so the timing is aligned and everything. This would be a lot harder if the tempos were different on each tape. I don't recommend that. All right, so let's go through here and find the same spot.
Change does throw me just a little bit. Okay, all right, ready.
Right there. That's approximately the same. And for me, I'm not obsessing over my fingers being perfectly with the recording. I've done this enough times to know that it will line up really closely and not be a big problem. So I'm going to cut the track right there, and I'm going to get rid of that first part because I find that it, well, it'll have to be gone in the final mix, or else it will play at the same time as these other tracks, and we don't want that. We don't want the doubling from it. So, all right, I'm going to cut that out, and I'm going to try to align this cut with that cut. Okay, if we don't want this part of the video to play over this next layer 2 that we've chosen, we'll have to cut some of it out as well. So let's find where we want to end layer 2. Right there. All right. So let's put a cut, and also the same cut for layer 1. That way we can select this little area and get rid of it. Delete. Now, as long as the view button is clicked for both layer 1 and layer 2, you're going to see that transition from layer 1 into layer 2. Like so. Alright, now what if you don't want the rather abrupt change between layer 1 and layer 2? Maybe you want a little fade out and a little fade in. Well, we can click this segment, video effects, transparency, fade out, and just say yes to that. Click layer 2, this segment of layer 2, video effects, transparency, fade in, yes. Now we should have a smooth transition, and it's going to go black, you'll see. Okay, so not only does that smooth out the transition, but it's also going to give you a little bit of wiggle room at the very end of this editing process when you layer the audio track on top. Because let's say that you get to the end and the video doesn't perfectly line up with the audio. Well, those black areas give you an opportunity to either extend the black and, you know, give yourself a little bit more time in the video to catch up with the audio, or you can delete a little bit of black and speed up the video to catch the audio. Last thing I want to show you is how to do split screen, because I think between split screens, cropping, zooming, those are some of your best tools for making a video interesting and to do it in a, you know, fairly quick, easy way using this software, VSDC. So the last thing we're going to do is split screen. I want to find a place where that really works in the piece. Maybe a loud section where it would be nice to see all three shots, 2 or 3 shots, whatever. All right. Now let's turn one of these off. Okay. Okay, right in that area is loud, so we'll transition to split screen. Right there. Okay, so I will cut this. I'm actually going to cut the other 2 as well. You can hold down the control button while you click, and that way you can actually select multiple tracks here, and it will cut all of those tracks at the same time. So we want all 3 tracks right here to show on the screen. Now we need to click the view button. That way all 3 are here. Now you can't see all 3 right now because they're layered on top of each other. What you'll have to do is drag one. Oops, I want to resize it, not move it. Okay, so that's going to resize it. I'm just going to try to get these all smaller so we can see them. And then the last one. Okay. Let's say we want to do something like a pyramid view. Well, I'm going to try to make these approximately the same size. Okay. That one's a little too small. You can use your arrow keys to move it over and down. That's super close. Okay, I like to look at the margins and just make sure that those are the same, because that's what you're gonna see the most. All right, move that one over a little bit. Pretty good, pretty good. And then this one needs to be centered above these other 2. Okay, something like that. Now, again, if you don't want the transition to be abrupt, then you would just do the fade in, fade out thing. So we can actually try that. Let's say we're coming in from layer 2. So we'll add a fade out there. Get rid of this one down here. And we will fade in on each one of the split screen tracks. One more. Okay, let's test this out. VSDC has a hard time playing a lot of tracks all at once. Sometimes it helps to put this on a different level, so let's try 1080p. Okay, so you get the idea. Let's say we're at the end of this project, we are happy with our video edits, and we want to silence the videos and add our better audio track on top of it. Well, you need to silence these videos, and the only way I've found to do it is you have to click on each individual little segment, which is annoying. It'd be great if you could just like select all and then do it. If you find a way to do that, let me know, but for now I'm just selecting each little segment, going to audio effects, amplitude, silence, and that'll do it. Oh, make sure it's silencing the whole piece. Okay, and I'm going to continue that process for the remainder of these segments. Now, the other thing you could do, and what I have done in the past, is just export the project to MP4 export project, and when that's done, you could pull it into VSDC again, and that time when you pull it in as the new video, it's going to be one layer only. It'll take all of these layers that we've worked on, turn it into one, and then you can select that layer, silence it, which is a lot quicker, and add your audio on top of that. So you would just have to export it twice, basically, in the end. Do whichever one you feel is easier. If you've done a lot of cutting, then it might be easier to do that export thing and then pull it back into VSDC. But anyway, what you would do to add that audio is go to Add Object, click on Audio, and it would bring you to your files. So it would bring it in as a new layer. There you go. I am certainly not an expert in this topic, but I feel good about what we've been creating for our online worship services lately, and I've been helping out by doing some editing. So if you're in that position as well, then I hope this information has been helpful. Please drop a comment if you have any questions. My name is Hannah Cruz. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Blessings.